Hello, my name is Francis Fox. And I hope to be your favorite psychic spy sooner than later. We have had a very interesting couple of days. You know that yesterday I was going on and on about my enemy, Rene Villegas, trying to get together with me, stalking me, trying to get together with me, considering breaking into my home, etc. But it wasn't until today that I understood what the big rush was. He is Cuban mafia, associated particularly with the Cubans that did the Bay of Pigs attempted invasion decades ago. But it turns out that there are Russian ships in the sea between Florida and Cuba. I think there's one docked in Cuba. So that has to have everybody totally riled up, even though I'm sure most of you never even heard that there were Russian ships facing off with American ships in the Caribbean, and that there was a Russian ship that was docked in Cuba. And of course, that was his absolute hurry to where he went outside his comfort zone, his judgment, and basically his whole house of cards came tumbling down. Interesting. Everything happens for a reason, but that makes me happy that I kind of understand why, whoa, the level of aggression. But I have something incredible. Yesterday, I was on X, and apparently they were announcing Apple's artificial intelligence program. And they put up Mario Nafal, that does the news on a X, put up this graphic having to do with. Told you yesterday that I would show it to all of you. This is the graphic they had up on Mario Nafal's channel yesterday on X, having to do with Apple and their new AI. In other words, they're going to have eyes all over us. Okay. But I looked at it and I went, that sure looks familiar. And I went back to my graphics. Now, I was not able to get this graphic up on, so I'm going to have to just see if somehow I can get this to where you can see them side by side. No, you're not going to see it side by side. They're not going to let me. So here we go. And these are eyes, the same way this is the third eye. These are eyes, and I said it in the video, which is on YouTube, and I put the link up a moment ago. Plus, it's at minute 41 something where I talk about this that I had sketched, which was the collective mind map of all of us on the 4th of June. This that came up, that was artificially generated for apparently Mario's site, was done on the 10th. So a lot of interesting questions. Did AI copy this? I think most of you know that the government required that I sue the Cuban mafia in 1992 for sexual abuse. I wasn't aware that people think that I sued them and we were looking for money. There was two other females together with me, both of whom I know. It wasn't for money. So when I have this conversation I'm going to have now with you, doesn't have anything to do with money. This has to do with implications for society. We sketch this, okay? And then you get this 6 days later. I would give an arm and a leg to be able to get both of these up. I'm wondering, add scene, camera, media. Haha, now I get it. I wasn't doing it right. There you go. Okay, so here we go. Nope. Nope, not going to happen. Okay, so I sketch this on the 4th, and then you get the other artificial intelligence graphic on the 10th. It is so close, including the eyes at the end of these. There's no way it's not a copy. Who copied it? That's artificial intelligence. Okay, And I'm going to ask Mario, and I know everybody's going to think it's because I want to sue, because I want to make money. That's not the point. The point is, I really want to know how that happened. AI, their AI is inside my computer? Or did somebody that works for Mario see my stuff? I don't know. So the whole thing with this litigious country that we live in, the United States, somebody's going to sue. How do you do that? How do you prove anything? I think this is really, I mean, you cannot, um, there is no question, but that is a copy of this, particularly because it's such a distinctive thing having to do with strings and eyes and the body, whatever. So who can sue and not sue? I don't care. But this country, when Dr. Fauci, by the way, which was the day before this, which I found very interesting because I went back to all my sketches. It was the day before this. Dr. Fauci was in Congress and people really got really angry. The big thing when I sketched the United States that night or the next day after Dr. Fauci's testimonials, the big thing that I found was that in the Northeast, which is where most of the businesses are in the United States, the companies were very angry because they don't know what kind of lawsuits are going to come after them having to do with the whole COVID issues and telling people that they lost their jobs because they wouldn't wear masks or they wouldn't get the injection or whatever. So lawsuits is a big thing in this country. So you look at this and you go, lawsuit triggered by millions of people whose stuff, in the first place, nothing really belongs to anybody. And in the second place, it shouldn't belong to anybody. It should be a collective, which is where we're going, but we're not there yet. But now let's go into the specifics of what I sketched, which was interesting enough. And a couple of people in the comments said that's an incredible, obviously totally AI generated graphic, the one that is on Mario's site. So what is important about this sketch that I said, I've never sketched that before. I've never sketched eyes at the end of the mind streams, even though I told a story that I had met an ET when I was very young. And he said that you can even see outside of your hand. And these, our mind streams are like arms with a hand at the end with 5 fingers, literally. But then I sketched a spaceship, not a good one. If it was a good one, it would have been blue or pink. That's the way my mind operates. Very simple. And it's shooting something at us. And then, of course, we have planet, this is Earth, and it's too much fire. And you got the X's, which are curses. So this is on its own is a fascinating sketch, but to have it here is even more fascinating. So I don't know if anybody has any comments on this. Was this, where are we going? Certainly places we've never been before. So I did not sketch you guys yet, but I will sketch you right now, being it that it turns out these sketches are going to be a lot more important than we ever thought they were going to be. And to be able to understand them is important. Anyway, that day on the 4th, this is what I first sketched. There's your spaceship. And I said, I don't know what that is. I haven't sketched that before. And then the second sketch, this is not in the right order, was this. Sketch number 2 at 7:45. So let me sketch you now, and then let's go ahead and get to work, because too many of you are coming into these chats very stressed. I think we're just so used to being very stressed that we just got used to it. But let's see how you look before we do any work. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of question marks. I think we all kind of know that we're going someplace, but we don't know where we're going. It's a whole new world. Okay, and so afterwards, I will sketch us after we do the work. So, let's go ahead and do the mantra having to do, being it that in this sketch, that the mind map that we did here in 5 different platforms on the 4th, being it that this looks so much like this, that is creating a storm out there in social media having to do with people saying that they're going to give up their phones, which, by the way, I'm going to give mine up, and go to something that is not. So, being it that the eyes is everything here and in the other graphic, why don't we go ahead and do the mantra having to do with the third eye? And let's take care of that, being it that we kind of are getting the information that it's important. So, and up there in the chat, we have, okay, so the mantra is, give me a second. Yes, I'm a bit discombobulated. There we go. We're going to go with the mantra that the dolphins recommended for opening the third eye. Yeah, Elon Musk is supposed to offer a new phone, and I think that he said he's going to move along with it, and he's going to get rid of all of his everything Apple. He's going to get rid of. And how do we get rid of the Apple computers? Because they're so ingrained and they're really, really good. I don't know, but I certainly am going to get rid of my phone. And yes, I wish that he would get his phone out there very, very quickly. Okay, here's the mantra. See, Renee, I'm not going to talk that much about you today or your wife, Mylene, or her mother. And I think you should pay attention to the call you got from Washington today or the meeting that you had and just back off. Okay? You're calling attention to too many people. Okay, that's it. I need to give him a message in that way. Maybe he'll go look at someone else. Did you remember yesterday when I was going like this and I said, "Oh, what is this?" And I said, "Oh, that's like a piece of a spider web." In black magic, a lot of times on the physical dimension, one of the symptoms is the spider web, a literal spider web. And at that point, one of my followers on the chat said, and I didn't connect the dots till later, your mouth is black, which means black energy. And a lot of times my teeth at the bottom look black on the chat, and 20 minutes later they don't. That's the black magic that's being done. But there was even a piece of a spider web of the, the little threads. Interesting. And when I asked my follower, she was the one who pointed out that's when they were doing the black magic on you. That's interesting. You all need to be very open. Being it that I've been right so many times, you need to be open. Why would I talk about stuff if it wasn't important? The fact that you don't know yet that it's important just means that you're following somebody who is kind of can see the stuff that's coming down the pike or knows about the stuff that's coming down the pike. The fact that you don't know anything about it is okay. But that should not stop you from taking in the information. Okay, so there's the mantra, and I'm getting the music. And let's do 15 minutes of this. Remember the basis for this. Mastery is in your third eye. It's where superpowers are held. It's where all memory is, past life, past, present, and future. It's where judgment is, wisdom. Jesus Christ, they gave him a crown of thorns. In other words, don't get near here. Do not get near here. And we have a conspiracy theory that governments are feeding us with fluoride in order to dull this part of our energy centers, which is called the third eye chakra, and has everything to do with the ability to see, to discern, and to also be wise. So, not having that available is not a good idea. But when I was doing a Kundalini mental yoga program, and the dolphins gave me the mantras for each chakra, the one that they gave me for the third eye was this one. Even though I'm afraid to be a master, I love and accept myself. So let's do that for 15 minutes, okay? 2 feet on the ground, hands in the Apana Mudra, back of the hands on your thighs. Do not move your mouth with the words. The mouth you only move to expel breath. Okay? And let's get some exciting music here that corresponds to what we're looking for, which is opening of the third eye. Okay. Okay. So you came into this chat like this with question marks. I think we're all feeling a little bit lost. Now you look like this. You have your 3 pyramids of protection. Nice spaceship, not like on the 4th when it was one of the bad guys. All the mind streams are Nile green, which is the ideal color. And the third eye is totally activated and open. The feet, very grounded and landed. Excellent. Protection from evil. I tried. You're not supposed to try. You're just supposed to see. So I see and then I sketch it. But then I tried to see if maybe I wasn't seeing the eyes at the end of the mind streams. And I'm not seeing it. And yet you look great. This is a spiritual master that showed up. That's sweet. So this shows the eyes, no protection, and we're getting attacked by bad ETs. Why are the eyes activated there? Why aren't they activated here? I don't know. Each one of these sketch is a world of information that I am running so fast that I don't analyze all of it. Besides which, in terms of being a psychic, if I spend a lot of time analyzing, that's going to affect my next reading because I'm going to remember the conclusions from what I already analyzed in terms of the sketches. And I'm supposed to look at everything as if I had never seen it or known anything about it at all. Totally fresh eyes. But the truth of the matter is, there was no way we're not going to continue to analyze this. It's too important. Maybe there's other messages here for us. So we did like 14 minutes. We did great here, especially when you compare to how you came in. And hopefully all of you can feel the difference when you come here. Certainly my followers that usually join on the next chat, it makes a big difference for them. They have said it. So let's go ahead with the gold dress and see where it's at, because there's an issue with the gold dress now that didn't exist before. It's changing colors right in front of our eyes. I have not changed the photograph. This is exactly the same photograph from day one. Okay, see the fringe at the bottom 2 bands, they're now dark. And on the left side of the photograph, which is the right side of the body and the dress, there's a dark line there that wasn't there before. And being it that when we're in a good frequency, we see everything very bright and gold and white. And when we're in a bad frequency, then we see the brown and the darker. Then the lower energy centers of the humans have gotten darker. Plus the upper right quadrant of our body is darker. Now, what is the upper right quadrant of the body? What does it correspond to? It corresponds, this part of us, right, corresponds to the earth element and to prosperity. And it's getting darker. But I think if we ask people that know anything about prosperity, money, banking, business, whatever, they're going to tell you things have gotten dark. They're not expecting good stuff, but the dress is now reflecting it. Isn't that fascinating? That's why you have to have a copy of that dress, so that if you're going to speak to important people, or if you're going to speak to an important person about something that's important or make some important decisions, you look at the dress and you figure out what your frequency is, because believe me, your decisions and choices will be different when your frequency is lower. You will be deciding things at that level of your consciousness, which is lower. You want to not make those important decisions until you can actually see that dress bright gold and bright white. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. If you accept all of this information, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know, you know what, let me hold off and not have that important conversation at this point. Let me not make that decision to invest this money, blah, 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 because I'm not in a good place. I feel fine, but I look at the dress and it's not bright gold and white. So do yourself a favor. Start applying what it is that I'm trying to teach all of you, to share with you, to your daily life, and then track it, which is what I have done for 30 or 40 years, tracking what it is that I've said, what I've sketched, because I need to know. I don't want to put something out there that you can only rely on 80% of the time, which would be really good, but that's not good enough. So you need to track what you bring in, but you should apply it. Apply what you're learning to areas that aren't going to break your back, something small, and then something bigger, and then 2 or 3 things, and then go, I did a mantra for that, and it worked out much more easily than I thought. I did that visualization. It was better than I thought. I was going to do this because it always felt right. And then all of a sudden, I had this feeling like in the center of my chest. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm not going to do that. And it was the right decision. In other words, you listen to yourself. Okay, babes, I'm going to hang up now. My dog. So that's it. We'll be here tomorrow. And I am not suing anybody, but I'm really curious of what they're going to do about the whole thing with lawsuits, with artificial intelligence and art and graphics. Come on, you want me to pick you up? No, I'll get you in a minute. So I'm going to be pursuing that, and I'll let you know. And it has nothing to do with me suing anybody. That's not my interest. My interest is, how is society going to do with this new factor that, according to everybody, is going to destroy us? And I believe that that is accurate. So the next time I'll put on the video that I did about artificial intelligence and how every piece of it is like a Ouija board. So that graphic that I'm showing you is a Ouija board, which means I really shouldn't be showing it to you. We're going to have a hard time getting away from all of this. Anyway, okay? Thank you for joining me. I'm closing down early because I have a class now at 8 in which people come and sit there, and I cut implants that they have that are just like the movie Matrix. So just as so many other science fiction movies and books, that movie was letting us know something that we did not have the ability to see until now. Thank you.